did you learn to play?
When I was 6 years old, so I'm 10 right now, about 4 years.
Wow. And so you play out at Santa Monica. You make great music for people who are walking on the promenade.
When a teenager plays the violin as if she were born with it, it's difficult to not pause and listen. And people are captivated by Karolina Protsenko and do more than just listen to her. Karolina has gained widespread popularity on the internet because to her violin playing and her contagious grin. Millions of people have viewed her popular song versions online, but lately, there is something about her that has piqued interest. People have begun to inquire about Karolina's current whereabouts. And what has become of the youthful celebrity who once won over the hearts of the internet? Karolina Protsenko was born on October 3, 2008, in Kiev, Ukraine, a city known for its music and culture. From Ukraine to the world stage have been included into daily life for a long time. Karolina saw music as more than just as she heard it on the radio or at music halls. It resided in her family, her house, and every period of her early life. Both of her parents, Nikolai and Ella, had musical training. Both have a strong interest in classical music. Her mother was a pianist, while her father was a guitarist. In many respects, Karolina's journey to the violin before she even picked up the instrument, it was already being composed. Her parents recognized the need for devotion and discipline, and they didn't play for fun. It required skill to play an instrument. The same framework and backing were approved from a young age on Karolina. It's among the factors that allowed her to arrive at such a remarkable degree of talent for someone so young, since the groundwork was strong from the start. When Karolina was only 6 years old in 2015, the family moved from Ukraine to the Americas. Although it was a significant change, Karolina's talent was able to expand and connect with a larger audience than ever before. Eventually, the family made Simi Valley their home. Karolina still performs and pursues her music career in California, where she currently resides. Because Karolina's performances seemed so natural, many people assumed she was self-taught. However, in actuality, even if she possessed extraordinary natural skill, additionally, she underwent professional instruction to better hone her abilities. Her emotive acting, along with exact technique, demonstrates her commitment to becoming an expert player. The Suzuki method was used for her first training, and she conscientiously worked her way through 7 Suzuki book volumes. Elisa Boynton was her first violin instructor in the United States at the Oregon City Music Academy, which stressed the value of practicing every day. Afterward, Karolina pursued her education in California under Armando Anto and at the Colburn School, followed by Sam Fisher. Her intense training regimens, which frequently extend 2 to 3 hours every day, and included both modern pop songs and classical music. Her parents were crucial in helping her grow up, and the musical atmosphere at home ensured that she started playing the violin on a daily basis, making it more than simply a pastime. Additionally, Karolina shares her enthusiasm with her 2 younger brothers, resulting in a lively, supportive, and musical home. While many people who found Karolina on social media felt that way, her breakthrough didn't happen quickly. Once in California, she started doing public performances, particularly on busy retail streets and sidewalks. Individuals would pause to pay attention. Videos were captured. Then millions of people began to watch. She performed covers of songs including Dance Monkey by I and Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. Versions proliferated online like wildfire. Not only was her skill impressive, her charisma, enthusiasm, and the delight she gave to her performances drew them in. Karolina has maintained her groundedness in spite of her celebrity. She still resides with her in Simi Valley, brothers and parents. She still gives passionate performances, and she keeps posts videos that are viewed by people all over the world. Her focus hasn't altered because of the attention. She's still the same girl who began performing in public because she was captivated by the emotional impact of music. There is only a gifted young lady doing what she loves. There is no drama or scandal. However, people's newfound interest in her demonstrates how committed they are to her journey. She still has millions of followers who eagerly await every new video, every new performance. The music is just growing louder for Karolina. Karolina's favorite stage despite having millions of fans. Karolina Protsenko doesn't prefer performing big stadiums or a concert venue. It's a crowded Santa Monica street. Based on the videos she shares online, she attends a California private school where she balances academics, music, and performance. The 3rd Street Promenade is her favorite place to play the violin, where she has entertained sizable audiences for hours with the kind of talent that would make someone pause and pay attention. Not only was her talent what set her apart, but how someone so young could already be so confident and enthusiastic about learning to play the violin. People started to recognize her as her street acts became more well-known. Italian saxophonist Daniel Vitali was among the first to give her a nickname, who dubbed her the busking sensation. Her videos quickly gained over Europe, where her singing enthralled audiences equally. By the year 2019, Karolina appeared on national television as a result of her growing reputation. Karolina's appearance on the Ellen DeGeneres show in 2019 was a significant milestone in her expanding professional life. She discussed on the broadcast how she had been putting money aside in her tip jar, the little pail she carried while she performed on the street with hopes of purchasing a puppy in the future. Many people were moved by her story, and the crowd was astounded by her violin performance during the show. Karolina received a substantial present from Ellen as a surprise after her performance, which increased her money then conserving. It prompted viewers to wonder if she had finally purchased the puppy of her dreams. YouTube was a major factor in Karolina's ascent to fame. One of her A Violin rendition of My Heart Will Go On was one of her first uploads, which helped bring her to a larger audience. As soon as she formally joined the platform, she started posting frequently, and her films soon became well known. Her combination she quickly became proficient in hit songs thanks to her love of pop music and her classical skills. At the moment, she operates 3 distinct YouTube channels. One is for her covers of violin. The third showcases her singing voice, and the third is for vlogging and providing personal updates. Every channel displays a distinct aspect of her. However, taken as a whole, they depict a youthful musician who is always producing. She covers popular songs on the violin, such as Despacito, Love Me Like You Do Shallow, Never Enough, Shape of You, Believer, and Unable to Avoid Falling in Love. These she has received millions of views and comments from fans worldwide as a result of her performances. Karolina didn't decide to play the violin one day. She had to practice before performing. Following a move, she started official instruction with her music tutor after moving to the U.S. in 2015. Sam Fisher, Mr. He gave her a solid foundation in classical violin music by helping her grasp the fundamentals and hone her technique. Karolina, however, continued her education. She sought out every opportunity she could to perform, work together, and gain knowledge. She participated in master classes, workshops, and developed her sound by working with other musicians. She was able to experiment with several genres and find her own artistic style thanks to these experiences. Karolina has taken advantage of every chance to develop, whether it be through pop covers, street music, or classical concerts. She is still on her adventure. However, at 16, she has already accomplished more than most people could have ever dreamed. Located in the center of California's vast and varied music scene, Karolina's ascent started subtly in 2017. However, it was not a record deal or a viral campaign that made her stand out. Rather, it was the straightforward act of she was on the street playing her violin. She adopted that as her signature. She created rather than merely performed. Moments. What is her favorite stage? Santa Monica's 3rd Street Promenade. This crowded, outdoor strangers would pause in the middle of their strolls at this point, drawn in by the sound of her singing. In addition to listening, people came to document, share, and discuss what they were witnessing. Videos of her performances began to appear within a few months, appearing all over the internet. What appeared to be a lighthearted street show turned into stuff that goes viral. Karolina's capacity to use music to engage others became the driving force behind her rising stardom, even in the middle of a shopping mall. The buzz grew as the videos spread further. Now, she wasn't merely a gifted violinist. She was gaining international recognition. Videos of Karolina having fun on the pavement garnered millions of views as she was surrounded by a crowd and a small speaker. These weren't only transient patterns. People remained. They followed her journey, watched, subscribed, and left comments. It was easy for anyone who was interested in her music to find it. She made things simple. Karolina started 3 distinct YouTube channels, each with a distinct function. She also remains active on Facebook and Instagram, frequently updating her admirers with new content. Her target audience is dispersed over the globe, and they can listen to her music on websites like Spotify, iTunes, when available, Apple Music, and Amazon Music Unlimited. Karolina's rendition of the Luis Fonsi and Daddy original song, Despacito, one of her most shared performances, was Yankee. Just that cover caught the interest of millions of people and attracted new followers to her channels. However, that was only one tune from her collection of over 250 violin covers that she has posted over the years. Her selection of songs demonstrates how well she knows her audience. She chooses songs that are already well-liked, such as global smashes, chart topper, and fan favorites, and adds her classical touch to make them into something else. They're not rigid or technological demonstrations. They are vibrant, and her followers are drawn to her because of it. An artist who is truly international with over 10 million fans and viewers across more than 50 countries, Karolina's reach extends much beyond Santa Monica's sidewalks. More people have seen her videos than 2 billion times on social media sites like YouTube. The figures are enormous, however. What's most striking is how intimate her music still feels. Karolina maintains the same strategy that initially brought her fame, despite performing on some of the largest stages in the world. She is honest, lets the music speak, and keeps things simple. In this manner, a young girl with a street corner violin rose to international renown without ever requiring a spotlight. What sets Karolina apart is not just the remarkable quantity of views her videos garner. Her extensive platform reach is one thing, but what really sets her apart from other musicians is the sheer amount of songs she releases, and how well it works every time. Every one of on average, her violin covers have about 30 million views. Her channel has grown to be a popular destination for fans of music who wish to hear well-known tunes turned into something lovely and fresh. Karolina reimagines covers rather than merely posting them. Her profound knowledge of music is evident in each note, and her interpretation of various styles demonstrates her exceptional talent. Her ability to communicate with individuals worldwide is even more remarkable, irrespective of ethnicity or language. There is a reason for that link. It stems from her conviction that everyone can be reached by music. Karolina's selection of songs reflects her love of world music. She appreciates music from a variety of genres and frequently covers songs in different languages, cultures. According to reports, she speaks more than 2 languages, but only enables her to reach a wider audience. Her approach to music is inclusive and intimate, which explains why she is so admired by young people. She has emerged as a silent role model, particularly for teens who aspire to use art as a means of self-expression without having to yell for attention. In 2019, Karolina's talent attracted Ellen DeGeneres' attention. She received an invitation to play on The Ellen Show, and upon taking the stage, she gave a hauntingly lovely performance. A rendition of Sunflower by Post Malone. Her performance enthralled the studio audience, which combined technical mastery with unadulterated passion. Ellen, obviously impressed and taken aback Karolina with a specially designed tip jar for her street appearances and a specially crafted blue violin. It was recognition. After beginning on the sidewalk, Karolina was now being praised on national television. And underneath it all was a straightforward desire. She was putting money aside for a pet. She took a step closer when Ellen made the move. Karolina has pursued other musical endeavors outside the violin. In May 2022, she started taking piano lessons with Ekaterina Panfarova, carrying on her mother's legacy. She has also picked up the guitar and demonstrated her vocal prowess in a range of performances. She is also versatile when it comes to dancing. Karolina included ballet to her repertoire after being influenced by Lindsey Stirling. In April 2022, she even bought her first pair of pointe shoes. Karolina's collection of music reflects the diversity of her interests. She likes to keep a journal. She enjoys motorcycling, baking, and keeping her surroundings neat. Her passion for animals is demonstrated in her relationship with Cashew, the golden retriever the family adopted in August 2022. Additionally, Karolina is a huge lover of the Harry Potter books and treasures her trips to Harry Potter World at Universal Studios. Despite her popular image, she has revealed instances of vulnerability, like crying when watching heartwarming parts in movies like Titanic. A strong partnership that attracted attention in 2020, Karolina partnered with Angelica Hale, the vocalist who advanced to the America's Got Talent finals. Together, They performed Clean Bandit and Zara Larsson Symphony. Not only was it a duet, two young prodigies with such distinct talents were showcased, and they mixed in flawlessly. Karolina played in tandem with Angelica as she sang with strength and passion, adding depths in her violin playing. On stage, their camaraderie was evident. They weren't just the next act. They helped to uplift and support one another. The audience remained silent as they watched, then gave a loud round of applause. It brought to mind the ways in which two young artists, come from diverse backgrounds, may work together to create something truly memorable. It was evident that Karolina and Angelica were in love as soon as they took the stage, performing in unison. The room was filled with their enthusiasm, and the audience couldn't help but be drawn into their universe. The warmth and emotion in Angelica's voice filled the auditorium that has a subtle yet strong presence. Karolina's violin, meanwhile, was weaving songs. It produced a serene yet enthralling mood as though they were floating in midair. Their combined sound produced an atmosphere that seemed bigger than the platform they were performing on. It was more than just a show. Two teenage artists who already knew how to captivate an audience shared a moment. Karolina has accomplished things that many artists take a lifetime to do at her age. However, her work doesn't end with solo performances or covers. She never stops pushing herself to discover new things, fresh approaches to musical expression. Her partnerships have influenced how her career has developed, and each one creates fresh opportunities. She has been able to develop as a violinist and a creative thinker by collaborating with musicians of many genres. One particularly noteworthy partnership was with Daniele Vitali, an Italian saxophonist. Together, the two collaborated on an entire project, combining their instruments to create a rich feeling. Their blended tones represented various customs and cultures, but managed to come together in a seamless manner. It's the type of creative collaboration that demonstrates Karolina's willingness to venture beyond her comfort zone. Karolina's reach is equally as remarkable as her skill. With more than 8 million, she has 2 million Instagram followers and 2 million YouTube subscribers, creating a global fan base that follows her every move. These figures are more than simply measurements. They show actual people that can relate to her work. She was able to fulfill one of her biggest dreams in 2022, appearing on The Kelly Clarkson Show. The surprise that accompanied the moment added to its specialness. Karolina had always appreciated violinist Lindsey Stirling, who is well known for fusing dance and classical music. Actually, Karolina was motivated by Lindsey to start studying ballet and incorporate she uses movement in her performances. However, she had no idea what would come next. Meeting her idol Karolina was brought on stage to sing a song by Lindsey Stirling during the performance. As in an interview with Kelly Clarkson, she talked about her experience and the ways that Lindsey's artistic abilities had impacted her. Unbeknownst to her, Lindsey was surreptitiously observing the interview from backstage. Kelly carried on the conversation informally, posing queries and discussing music. However, after that, merely the true surprise came to light when the moment felt serene and at ease. Lindsey walked onto the stage. Gradually, and the instant Karolina spotted her, her countenance brightened. She was taken entirely by surprise. Her emotions appeared immediately, including awe, disbelief, and happiness. The two had a touching time together. Karolina talked on how much she valued Lindsey's work, and Lindsey gave her own admiration in return. She commended Karolina's talent and commitment, realizing the progress she has made. It didn't feel like a talk show for a few minutes. It was as though two musicians had met in an environment of joy and respect for one another. In addition to surprising Karolina with an unexpected visit, Lindsey Stirling made the occasion memorable by giving her a very sentimental gift, one of the violins she made herself. It was more than just a present. It represented a common interest and respect between two musicians who obviously had a connection through music despite their different ages. The surprises didn't end there, though. Lindsey was planning something else. When the program reached its in her last hours, she asked Karolina to perform a live duet with her. Regarding Karolina, it was the ideal chance she had always dreamed about. She made no hesitation. She consented, feeling both anxious and excited to take center stage, next to the individual who initially encouraged her to take up the violin. The sound that filled the room as their bows moved in unison was amazing. It was a combination of chemistry and expertise. Their violins were the ideal match for one another, producing a sound that was intensely emotive and powerful. Everyone sensed that everything Karolina had worked so hard to accomplish was being celebrated. Their real joy was evident in every note they played together on stage. Karolina's success hasn't come only from good fortune or viral notoriety. She has been constructing her profession and expanding her following, and it has yielded numerous benefits. Despite the fact that she's still, despite her youth, her estimated net worth is already $1.55 million. That number represents not only her skill, but also the effort, passion, and time she puts into each performance. Karolina's path serves as a reminder to aspiring artists worldwide of what may be accomplished when hard labor meets enthusiasm. She is a living example of how aptitude is not defined by age. Her existence continues to motivate individuals from all walks of life, both on stage and online, particularly those who are just getting started. How much money does her violin channel bring in? Fans of Karolina frequently ponder how much money her violin channel brings in. Ultimately, she is running a full-fledged site that receives millions of views each month, so she isn't your average youngster uploading for fun. Her YouTube channel gets about 9.97 thousand views every day on average. About the course of a month, that amounts to about 28.5 million views. Considering that it has been monetized through ad revenue, YouTube channels make between $3 and $7 for every 1,000 views. According to the calculations, Karolina's channel might be bringing in almost $412,000. That indicates that YouTube advertisements alone generate an estimated $1.71 million in revenue annually. These figures are simply astounding. They demonstrate the extent to which a special talent can be blended. Having a sincere passion for music, a devoted following, and the appropriate platform, Karolina continues to grow. And the interest in her isn't either. Every performance, every team effort, and a career that is only beginning is built upon with every new video. It's probable that Karolina Protsenko's estimated net worth, which is currently at $1.5 million, is less than what she truly has. Making money? Some sources claim that her earnings from advertising alone might amount to as much as $3 million annually. That number doesn't even account for her developing impact or the several sources of income she generates outside of YouTube. The remarkable thing about Karolina's financial success is that it doesn't come from a single source. In contrast to many content producers that only make money from advertisements, Karolina has developed a far more varied source of revenue. She sells the goods she makes herself. Things featuring her name and logo, including t-shirts and hoodies. These branded goods provide in steady sales and directly influence her total income. However, her impact extends well beyond internet videos. She's put out several CDs, which are all for sale and accessible on streaming services. These albums produce more revenue and enable direct fan support for her. Additionally, Karolina gives live performances, both abroad and in the United States. More events have been made possible by her popularity. Additional locations and chances to make money through appearances and concerts. Although specifics of her investments are kept confidential, Karolina probably she sets aside a portion of her income for future expansion. Donations from fans are also important. Because they love her music and want to see her thrive, viewers from all around the world frequently lend her support through crowdfunding websites and online advice. There is potential for more given her increasing popularity. As she keeps developing her reputation, she could be able to secure affiliate relationships, sponsorships, or brand collaborations, all of which could boost her income even more. According to analysts, her net worth will only increase over the next several years, particularly taking into account both her established job and the growing possibilities of her internet presence. Karolina's story demonstrates how a young musician with skill and commitment can elevate a modest street performance to a worldwide stage. She's only getting started, yet it's already difficult to overlook her influence. The secret weapon of Karolina Protsenko is a multi-platform performer in addition to being a violinist who has gone viral. In addition to YouTube, she publishes performance videos on Facebook and Instagram to keep her followers interested. Personal updates and behind-the-scenes material. Millions of people follow you on these networks. Through brand partnerships and sponsored postings, she generates extra revenue. Businesses understand how important visibility is, and Karolina's social media presence provides them with that's all. Her fan base is active, and not just a collection of numbers. This turns every performance, product mention, and post into a possible source of income. Karolina's violin is the one element that people always notice among all the other elements that make her performances unique. Karolina has stated often that she plays a Stradivarius violin. This immediately attracts attention because these instruments are legendary rather than just uncommon. The term Stradivarius, or more precisely, Stradivarius, describes a variety of string instruments manufactured by Antonio Stradivari and other members of the Stradivari family in Italy in the 17th and 18th century.